the middle of a conversation, but sure, we
Ooh.
do a little show. Sure. Damn. Forget my conversation I was having.
That was an on-air conversation.
Yeah, that was deep. You cutting off folks.
Well, I mean,
No. This is your thing. This is you.
We can talk about it 100%. That's what I'm saying. Save it. Save
let's
it for
turn
the,
it on.
Save it for the viewers, baby.
Don't get my shoes now.
What? Oh.
Okay, I was like, I was gonna bring my heels.
It's going to be a whole thing.
Anyway,
she got on her
hello,
Nike
everybody.
slides today. You
Hello,
playing?
everybody. It's Friday at 12. Y'all know what it is. Mics and Mindsets. We're back. All right, episode 2, and we have your favorite debater in the house today.
Was that me?
That's you. So you guys already know me. It's your boy Cam, Killer Cam, Coach Cam, the hostess with the mostest. We are back. The only live network video wise in Solano County and the Northern Bay right now. I got you're
doing something.
I gotta do something.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, every Friday we're gonna come to you guys with valuable information, folks from the community, and at the end of the day, just good conversation that's gonna help you guys elevate. So that being said, my co-host, or one of my co-hosts, because G could not come today, but he's always here in spirit.
Always.
Is our girl Karina.
What's up, y'all? What's happening? Karina Cook here. You guys already know your favorite tax strategist, businesswoman, whatever you want to call me. You know, I'm one of the many
You don't
things.
have any. You got to get
Yeah,
you got to get your stuff locked in like him.
What?
He had his blah blah blah. I'm trying to think of. Whoa,
Right.
I'm just Troy. Like, this dude.
He had it on
stuff.
pack.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I got to learn from the big dog, but you guys already know. That was off the dome.
Oh,
You said
well,
that same
it's
thing
easy.
I
last.
said enough of those things in a row.
It's
I'm
so
like,
easy
you
when there's
said it
nothing else
last
up
week.
there.
That's true.
If that's all you got up there, you're fine.
I'm throwing it.
Yeah. There you go, Kim. Yes, but I'm here, y'all.
All right, Mr. Troy.
Oh,
What's
I gotta
up,
do
man?
it. I'm not doing that whole intro.
Do the whole thing.
Come on, let's
Come
hear
on.
it.
Okay, I'll tell you what I do.
If you don't know me, you should. That's
You probably should. Actually, one thing I did realize though, I'm almost to the full point of being Googleable.
Oh,
Almost.
Oh, you're almost Googleable?
I'm almost there. I'm working. So that's like if you are like trying to establish yourself or be somewhat overly arrogant.
Yeah.
You have to be at least Googleable.
ooh.
I mean, yeah.
You know, right?
I agree.
So if you can't be Googleable, then don't talk. You
Mm.
can keep that to yourself. You can keep your own little feelings and blah, blah, blah. But if you're Googleable, you can put in some work.
I will say I can Google my name.
I know,
and I'm
I
one of
can.
the only ones that pops up.
Yeah.
it's just-
But like, we need to know define Googleable for us. One of
So right now I am I'm a political strategist in messaging.
these.
Yep.
I've dealt with everyone from running from Congress to city council or city council to Congress. Right now, I have a city councilman, I have a congressman, and that I'm running campaigns for. And I'm trying to figure out if I want one more candidate just to be messy.
Ooh, not messy.
Just to be spicy enough.
Just enough. Where now it's like, wait, who is Troy? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm also the president of the National Action Network's Bay Area chapter, which covers everything from Solano to San Francisco County and all the mess in between. Me and my wife have a company called Trinity Group and Associates. We do document preparation, and one of the big things that we're doing now is immigration documents, dealing with that hot mess.
Yeah.
But it's a way we're looking at it now in order to help people get their paperwork in order. Yeah. And not just for them, but also for their family.
Yeah.
So it's also helping them develop a trust and a plan.
Yeah, that's nice.
Because a lot of these people do own businesses. A lot of people have, money and have, they have stuff that they want to protect if, Trump decides, yes, I'm going to ship you off to Sweden. Yeah. But I'm from Guatemala. It doesn't matter. Sweden's where you're going. Well, right now, I mean, he just shipped off a set of people that were from Venezuela, I think, but he shipped them off to South Africa.
Oh wow!
Man.
And they're like, dude, we're not even doing. That's like a completely.
That's a whole different.
I don't care. This is where you're going. This is where I have a contract.
I did not know that.
A lot of his last when he was shipping people off to Venezuela is because he has a contract with them.
Oh, like
that's why
the prison.
The prison.
When he did
Oh.
the last did the last round.
Yeah. That's why they were going there, because he had a contract with them.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all about money.
I mean, the world
At the end of the day, it's all about money. So that's what we do there. I mean, but we handle everything from helping you with your divorces, helping you with child custody stuff. My wife is doing a lot of child custody stuff now.
Okay.
And helping people with that. So you don't have to completely go to a lawyer and get overcharged.
Yeah.
You can go to us and we kind of take care of a lot of that middle ground. And it helps out a lot. It helps a lot of people.
Wow.
Yeah. So what we were talking about, though, can we get back to that?
We can get.
So wait,
we
is that
can
all
get
I
back
do?
Is that all you do?
I'm
I
just
don't know. I
thinking.
feel
I'm
like
trying
there's like 13 other things.
It could
that we missed out
Well,
on.
we're doing the Board of Trades is coming up soon. It's a
we're
group
talking
of,
about it.
We're kicking it. We're
Okay,
kicking
let's
it
kick
around.
it.
I think I'm at that point
This
where
is
I
like
want
the first public viewing.
public. I know. Stop it.
Yeah.
So no, well, Cam,
This is an
We get-
exclusive,
right,
boy.
we get that
Yeah,
live.
actually it is.
Yes.
it's
Let's talk
Damn.
about it.
now I gotta talk about it.
Yes. Let's see.
So what Board of Trades is actually going to do is help help businesses
Yeah.
grow
Mm.
and get developed.
Yep.
And it's because of that we have the Board of Trades is a small group. I didn't want it to be a big group. I don't need 500. I can do well with 5 shiny stones.
Yeah.
Look that up. People look up 5 shiny stones when you get a chance. And you'll understand the fight and the mission that I have. But look up 5 shiny stones. But so we have people who are involved in media. Like, L3 is one of our partners.
Yeah.
That's going to be part of a Board of Trades. We have someone who does insurance. We have someone who's involved in small businesses actively.
Yeah.
We have someone who helps with funding. So it's not like we're telling you to go out and go get it. We're going to help you go out, get you prepared to go and get it. We're going to, and
that's what gets people most of the time. Is they're just not prepared.
They're just not prepared. It's not anything else. It's never.
You could have you could have like the income and everything, but
And
it's like, what if you can't show us?
Yeah.
If you don't have a plan, and I take that even with my candidates. I tell them, if you don't have a plan, I don't care what your message is. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care about any of that because it doesn't matter. You have to have a plan to do something.
Yeah.
Just
Concept.
at a minimum, a concept.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, just like with the people, well, you can't just go out and buy a house. You have to plan to buy a house.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So if you have to plan to buy a house, why can't you plan to do everything else? You have to go ahead and write out your business plan. That, mind you, you'll never go buy it. You'll never go buy your business.
Yeah.
For sure.
It just never works.
It just evolves.
It just
It's
evolves.
like it's like, so like we used to explain this, when we were like recruiting, like people say, well, why do people with degrees get to be officers? And it's like, because the premise is that they really don't care about the degree. It's that you've shown you can stick to something before you. It's the dedication thing. So
it's a dedication
with
and
business
discipline.
plans. It's like, just show us that you can sit down and then think about it.
Think about it
and put it on paper.
Right.
Yeah. That's all it is. And it's just funny. So what else? So that's what building trades is. And there's a lot more to it. And as it evolves and comes out, people hear a lot more about it. But we want to be able to help focus on building people's businesses sustainably.
Love it.
We want to make sure, and there's a cost for it, of course, and there's a continual cost for it. We become not just helping you, but we become partners.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, and what does that do? That lets you know that we're in this with you.
Yes.
Right. We're not just going to grab a quick commission or grab some quick cash on it. No, the longer money and the connection is made over time. Because just like how we just said a business plan means nothing. Why? Because business evolves.
Yeah.
And so whatever it is that you're into, if you came to us with most places, they came to me and helped me get started. But 2 years in, I had a fire. I had this, the the market has changed,
Yeah.
products have changed, technology is catching up with us.
Mhm.
Where's my help?
Yeah.
That's when you fail, right?
There you have it.
That's when you fail.
Yes.
If you don't have someone who's evolving with you, who's going to
Yes.
be in there with you,
No.
Yeah.
and that's what Board of Trades is going to be. And a lot of that, it comes from, I don't want to start anything today.
Uh-oh. Hold on.
I don't want to
Hold
start.
on.
I don't want to start
We
fights today.
I mean, we're not against it.
Well, you're messy.
That's the
And
I'm not. I'm
you like
actually
to go.
super clean in the messiest way.
Yes.
I
So,
keep baby wipes next to me when I eat.
you know, the gloves is dirty, but my hands are clean.
That's right.
So, but it came from
Mm-hmm.
the idea for me came from inactivity from other organizations
Yeah.
that were supposed to come and help.
Yeah.
You know, if you're supposed to be doing something that I shouldn't even have the idea in my head.
Right.
You know, and I was talking to it about with a friend of mine. He says, "Yeah, there's an organization that does it throughout all these cities." I'm like, "Is there?
Mm-hmm.
Why haven't anybody?
Why
don't I?
Yeah. Yeah.
I shouldn't even have this thought in my head if there's other organizations that are doing this."
Yeah.
So that's where I'm.
I have a question about
Go ahead.
that. So exactly what is being done inside of this Board of Trades? Like, can you break it down into, like, give us an example of what that looks like?
So if you come, so say for instance, you want to expand your business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you come to the Board of Trades and we're like, okay, you don't need this, but you need this.
Okay.
You so everybody isn't going to be like kind of getting at you. You got to make a whole bunch of phone calls. It's very simple.
Okay.
So if you need better marketing, okay, then you go to the marketing part. If we need to start doing, you know, you want to do commercials and so on and so forth, that's one thing. Or if you need infrastructure,
Yeah.
okay, then you go to the infrastructure part. You know, you sit down with our infrastructure.
Yeah.
You need better marketing, or if your brand is a little off,
Yeah.
then you go into that person.
Ooh.
So it's very one-on-one, because like I said, I need 5 shiny stones. I don't need a whole bunch.
Yes.
You know, I don't need a whole bunch. So whoever you come to, like if you need your media done, well, okay, cool. We'll set you an appointment with L3.
Yes. I love that.
You know, and then we'll come and we'll figure that out.
Yes.
Well, you're a broker of progress.
Yes, yes, and
I
trust
love
me,
that.
like with everything that I do, I'm about a solution.
Yeah.
I'm just about a solution. In my last interview with these guys, I made that completely clear. I know all the problems.
Yeah.
I know everything.
I know all the. No, I don't know everything, but I know all the problems, which is horrible. But I'm looking for the solutions with you.
Right.
We're going to be in this together, so the solutions will be our target.
Yeah.
You know,
I love that.
you know, you just come in, hey, I want to expand my business. Okay. And then with expansion, you're going to need money,
Right.
you know, so then we make sure that you're structured or your business is structured
Mm-hmm.
to go out and get funding.
Right.
Not
That's
just start-
important.
Not just start throwing your name out
Yes.
there to hopefully get you something. No, there's people that I deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And so we say, okay, but you do have to get your stuff qualified.
Yes.
You know, not gonna say automatic. Oh yeah, we can get you 50,000. Just come in here. No, because that's basically a lie.
Right.
Because whenever you figure that out, once you figure that out, you're so far in it, and that's kind of like their point.
Yeah.
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 They want you to
Yeah.
be so far vested into it. Now you have to
Right.
stay with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's the problem too in the community specifically, and you know we talked about last time in this community specifically is like people are just like, oh, you can just give it to me.
yeah,
No. Yeah.
No,
just get that?
no, I just get that. Like,
Right.
no, that's not how this works. Like, there's
you gotta
there's
put in
steps,
some work.
but then they're like, oh, well, now you're creating barriers.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
No.
It's. I like I was just telling Troy, it's a cheapo thing. Like I feel
Oh,
like people
cheapo.
want
That's
cheap
people-
people.
cheap people
Yeah,
because they
can
just
we,
want it for free.
coin that.
Well,
Like,
it's
you know?
it's a mindset that we have to fight, right?
Yes.
It's that idea of I want this, so I should just get it,
Yeah.
and not understanding. Well, no, and one of my things that I see a lot of is people hating their job,
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
right?
Mm-hmm.
People hate their job and
Yeah.
they get mad at their bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Why does my boss make so much money? Why does he do this? Because at one point in time,
Yes.
your boss had nothing.
Yeah.
He built something,
Right.
Yeah.
or his family built
Yeah.
something. Is the reason why you have a job,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's but the mindset that we have nowadays with the idea of the influx of Instagram and all the social media stuff, people think things happen overnight.
That is true.
Yeah.
People-
Correct.
you know, and that's the way a lot of things get sold to people.
Yeah.
Once again, you get hooked in.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Oh, I can just get my stuff done in 3 weeks. No,
Yes.
stupid. No. It took you
Yes.
6 years to destroy it. It's going
Yes.
to take some time to fix it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, well, when me and my wife first got together, we were talking about people breaking up and how long it takes to recover and so on and so forth. And she told me, this is, well, you know what? It takes half as long as the relationship was to recover from the relationship.
Mhm.
I was like, huh. So if I was in something for 6 years, it's gonna take me 3 years to get over something.
Yeah.
So now me and my wife have been married 17 years. So wait, hold on.
Yeah.
That's some work. That's some
a middle.
work.
That's a middle schooler.
That's a whole thing. Yeah, I'm damn near put a kid through college at that point. But it's like, but it does. And so if you tear something up,
Yeah.
and I need people to understand that if you tear up your credit, it's going to take some time to rebuild it.
Right.
It's not going
It's
to
not
happen overnight.
Yeah.
It takes time. But what's the best thing to do? Sit down. And so with me, one of the things I used to do was I used to say, okay, I want to buy a boat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And look at it in that sense. And just hold on, just bear with me.
I'm bearing. We've had so many conversations.
I know, right? I know, but I want to buy a boat. Okay. But I would sit down and say, no, forget the boat, the house.
Mm.
Cam understands this.
I didn't do this. It's Troy's wife. I just saying.
Troy's
I
right.
didn't do this.
Yeah.
Fair warning.
Tip,
Yeah,
I didn't
man.
do this.
So you have to sit down and plan what you're going to do, how you're going to get to buying a house. So from zero to house, everything in the middle is important.
Everything.
You know, what's the sacrifices going to be? How much you're going to put away? What company you're going to go through? Who's going to be your realtor? What kind of house do you want, Cam?
Yep.
That part. Where do you want to live? You know, all these things have to come into play.
Yeah.
But how do you get there? You plan it out.
Right.
You plan it out. You sit down with whoever your business partner is or whoever, you plan it out. And that's how you get there.
Yep.
So, but people don't want to plan anything. People want their coffee right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so then that becomes the problem.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Well, people also don't want to like invest.
yes.
You know, or they're so I was talking to Percy about this. By the way, shout out to P
Big
Rob
Percy.
Media. My boy Percy behind
Big
the
Percy
scenes
doing
helping us get this. The L3 team is growing, y'all.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about Little Seymour one day.
There you go.
Seymour.
You know
Oh.
Big Percy and Little Seymour? You know them to that combo? It's an old movie. I'll tell you about it in a bit.
But we were talking about there's this thought process that gets put on, and it's funny because it really affects like the middle and lower class the most, which is, oh, you've earned it, so you should go spend your money.
Yeah.
So I had a conversation with someone who's real close to me, and they said, hey, I would really like if you could help me invest. And I said, okay. How much in debt are you?
Yeah.
And they said, oh, you know, this. And I said, okay, I won't help you until you're out of debt. Because at that point, I now have it on me that I have to beat an 18% interest rate to make you successful. And then, so if I do 15%, you're looking at me like, oh, you just lost. No, I didn't lose you money.
Yeah.
You asked me to help you. So in that rush, I will help you once that is lifted, because that's more important anyways. Because now you're just wasting money at this point.
It is.
And then like, oh, but I want this, you know, I was like, hey, stop buying the fancy water.
Yeah.
Oh, but I earned that. That's that shit they brainwash you.
But it becomes once again though, it becomes, well, what do you want though?
Correct.
What do you really want?
Yeah.
And that becomes more important, or it should be more important than anything else.
Yeah.
And I've been a victim of this.
We all have. I mean,
we all have.
Yeah.
We all have. And you know, if you haven't failed, I don't want to talk to you.
100%.
I am a strong believer in that.
Yeah.
If you have not failed, we cannot have a conversation.
Yeah.
Well, there was someone that I read it. I forgot where it was, but it was like, I'm more successful than you because I failed more than you.
Yeah. And that's what it becomes.
Yeah.
So this guy, a friend of mine yesterday asked me, he was doing some questions. He was putting together some questions about investing, strangely enough, yesterday. And he was like, Troy, do you have any questions that I can, throw out to my audience? I'll give you a shout out and blah, blah. I was like, oh, I really care about, thank you. Appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
I don't care about the shout out, but I just posed a question. And it was, do people not invest because they can't see the results?
I have a piece to this when you're done.
And that's a strong one. I mean, because if you can't see it, and then it reminded, I used to work for Solano Athletic Clubs.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do a sales. It used to be an athletic club.
Okay.
Here, and it was 2 of them. Where Quick Quack is, there was a
in
gym there. No, here in Fairfield.
Oh, okay.
There was one there, and then there was one where the tennis courts are here in Fairfield. There was one there.
Okay.
One of the hardest things, Eric, when I first got hired, he told me, Troy, you're gonna have to sell somebody something that they can't see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? How are you gonna tell a housewife a housewife and her husband that yes, I understand that you've been living on Doritos and hot dogs, and this is what it has created.
Yeah.
But let me tell you what going to the gym will.
Yeah. I'm giving you 10 years of your life back that you won't even know you got until 30 years from now.
Until 30 years.
Yeah.
It's a vision that you have to create.
Yeah.
And then yesterday what happened yesterday? I was watching.
I feel like
it was a guy had asked another guy, he said, well, since you're a monk, what do you have a mantra? Do you have what keeps you motivated? That sort of thing. He said, the hard things are hard at first, but easy at the end.
Yeah.
And he stopped and he said, and the guy looked at him and says, well, let me explain this to you. Going to the gym is hard at first, but results are easy. Hard things are easy at first, but hard in the end.
Yeah.
Right? He said, eating junk food is easy.
Yeah.
But it's hard when you see the
out.
results.
Yeah.
So if you want to accomplish something, you have to kind of step back and say, okay, what is it that I want to accomplish? What is my goal?
It sounds familiar, huh, Karina?
What is
it? I'm like, he's cooking. I'm just like, thank you. Because I feel like people I'm always saying that. And so it's good to hear we're all on the same page here, because I think in every lane, that's what you have to deal with.
But it is everything you have to deal with. It is that you have to kind of see you do taxes. At one point, I was actually going to be an accountant. And then I understood that 2 and 2 will always equal 4. And then it lost me. I was done.
Stop it.
No, but I love my cousin. She's a certified CPA. Been one for years. She does specific things. She's fantastic. But and even with the idea of numbers, I understand numbers. Love them because they will never lie to you.
Yeah.
At any point in time, the only thing in this world that you can absolutely trust is numbers and God.
Well,
that's 2 things. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. He on point with it today.
Good math.
I mean, but other than that, everything else is up in the air. So, but with that, you develop a idea of, okay, if these numbers are going to equal 35,313, there's a process to get there.
Yes.
That doesn't just happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
Because
on.
Okay, so that's the thing that I think, even when you talk about painting the picture for people, right? Because I think coming into it, what I've learned and what I'm learning through this is that I have to paint the picture for people to say, okay, look, this is what it looks like after you do the thing.
You're a tax person.
Yes.
Do you do accounting?
No way.
Shut up. Not right now.
No, I used to.
What do you do taxes?
Yes. So I do tax strategy, planning to save money.
I'm not talking to you right now.
Stop.
It's not about you all the time.
That's social proof.
Yes.
No, there's a reason.
Yes.
But go. I'm sorry. I blurted that out.
No,
He
it's
wasn't
okay.
listening the other 15
mean-
minutes.
But no, all I was saying is we are like.
Excuse
that-
me. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Yes. What?
Dude, could you?
I love you.
I love you too.
What is going on here?
There's a bromance thing. Don't
It's a whole thing between me and him.
Y'all are funny. The energy right now. I'm like, oh, okay. But yes, I am.
Okay.
And
No, because no. I'm sorry. I really apologize for getting off track with this. Because in my head, I was thinking with Board of Trades, I
Mhm.
needed an accountant. I was just talking to somebody yesterday. I
Mhm.
needed an accountant to
Mhm.
do certain
yeah,
mixing, but doing taxes is just as important
yeah,
because people need to understand what you can actually.
yeah.
People fall into write-offs, and I say
Let's talk
fall
about it.
into write-offs as if everything can be written off,
Yeah.
but then forget what can actually be written off.
Mhm.
You know, even at this point right now, I'm thinking about buying a car,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking, okay, do I want to get the car that I can write off?
Mhm.
Because there are certain vehicles that you
Yes.
can automatically write off.
Yes.
Not just the idea of
the
the
G-Wagon.
yes,
Mhm.
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Mhm.
There's two.
Oh, you want a G-Wagon?
He doesn't want a G-Wagon.
Oh,
No, I
okay,
do.
okay.
Oh, yeah, you do. Damn.
I do.
Okay,
No,
okay.
it's the thing. Because one, it's just a G-Wagon.
I mean, they are nice.
They are very nice. So it's just. But go
But
ahead.
I-
Go ahead.
It's a gross vehicle weight thing.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes,
And there's certain
6,000.
vehicles, that
Yeah.
fall into that.
Mhm.
And a G-Wagon happens to be one
Mhm.
that falls into that. So it's not just, and pay attention to this, people. It's not just about getting something flashy. It's also being responsible for
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Now, if I can get something that I like,
Yeah.
and it's not, I don't want a new one because that's not the ones I fell in love
Gotta
with.
get them classic ones.
Oh,
that
classic.
box
That big
special,
box,
boy.
I get I don't want them to get 3
Cam
miles
is
to the
like,
gallon.
hold on, let me.
That's the only one I'd get is the box one. The newer ones, like, meh.
Eh,
Yeah.
but that box,
Yeah.
The box.
the old
I want the
school
Wayne's
AMG
brother G-Wagon.
the old school, yes. The
Like
old
it's
the
old
thing
AMG?
school, old school. Okay,
Yeah.
wait. Maybe I'm missing something because I think I'm thinking about the new one.
No,
Yeah, you're thinking about
You
the
think
new
about
one.
the-
Yeah.
no, the
No,
old
no,
one is
no.
just like it looks like a box on
It
wheels,
does.
but it looks it's like shiny and it's clean. It's got enough chrome in all the right
All you
places.
say is it's not overdone.
It's not overdone. It's
Yeah.
it's like
Okay.
classic.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're looking to get a vehicle or what? Because I want to hear the rest of it. What the other?
This is
Okay,
live
you're
tax
gonna
strategy
fall,
right
you're gonna
here.
'Cause
fall.
I'm like, wait.
Hey,
You don't want to fall
you're
into
guys
this.
welcome.
Yes, you were welcome for this conversation
Yes.
this morning or this afternoon. But okay. So there are certain aspects to buying a vehicle that I always consider.
Okay.
One, is am I going to be comfortable in it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It is going to be something that I'm comfortable. And I've always in my mind, I've always been able to be blessed enough to drive what I want to
Mm-hmm.
drive,
Okay.
not what I have to drive or what I should drive. It's one of those things. I don't want the new thing.
Okay.
I don't want the new because one, I don't want to take on the depreciation of that vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to lose 30 grand when I drive it off the lot. That's annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
friend of mine, it's a funny story too.
I love that you bring that up. Okay.
A friend of mine bought his wife a Benz. And we were just sitting talking, and he had bought it like a couple of years before, and it still haunted him.
Sure.
He says, yeah, but now the thing ain't worth what I paid.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
And got the top of the line,
Yeah.
blah, 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 all the bells and whistles. But I can go pick one up now for like
Yeah.
a third of what he paid for it.
Yeah.
Pisses him off.
Yeah.
But the problem is he chased the name.
Yeah.
He chased, I got to get something. That's the type of couple that they are.
Mm-hmm.
Chase the nice and fancy. And
Mm-hmm.
they do very well for them, but that's what she wanted, and
Yeah.
that's what he got. So I praise that.
Right.
But he was pissed
Yeah.
just from a second.
Yeah.
And we talked and I just let him, he talked for like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I just let him talk. He had to get that off his chest. And it was just one of those things. And so after I look at, so now our friend has an Audi.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And that I was looking at because I was thinking, okay, I can get an Audi because I do a lot of driving.
Yeah.
It's it's election season now, and so I need to be, going up and down the freeway, going blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So then it comes to practicality, and I want
Right.
something small.
Yes.
You know, I want something small that I can get in and out of parking spaces with those sort of things.
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of look at
Yeah.
my life.
Well, especially because you go to the Bay too.
Yeah.
And it's just like
Right.
it's a whole thing.
And
Yeah.
even in my Pilot, I'm like, God
it's like a whole thing.
damn.
So my other car is
You need an electric car.
no,
No.
don't say that.
Don't say that.
That's not the conversation we're going.
No,
Oh,
we're not
wow.
gonna do that
We're
right
not
now.
We're
Oh,
not bringing that up.
wow. Oh, so because this is going to require more.
That's a
huh?
whole thing.
Okay.
So I have an H3.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's what I
love it.
do.
Love
I
it.
used to
You
love
know what?
Hummers.
It
I used to love
fits
Hummers.
very well to your personality.
I'm saying, right? It does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it does.
You didn't drive that to my house though.
No.
Okay, that's why I
No.
was
Like,
yeah.
when do you pick what you want to drive? at that
How much
point?
he wants to bully wherever he's going. He's like,
That becomes a
do
thing.
I want to roll up and then automatically be like, oh crap,
Oh, yeah.
Troy's here?
Troy.
That is funny.
It's a statement every time I roll up.
That is funny.
But my Hummer it's not the big one, it's not the H2, it's the H3, but I've always wanted one.
Yeah.
And I've been blessed enough to drive what I want.
Mhm.
You know, my daughter right now, actually, when I came to your house, I think I was driving my daughter's car.
It was it was like
It was she has a Nissan Altima.
Mm.
oh okay.
Yeah, she's got her Nissan
Yeah.
Altima, but she also has an X5.
Okay.
Because that's what we write. My
Yeah,
youngest daughter, Madison, she just got a 3 Series.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
And people were getting on her about it. I'm like, sweetheart, this is what you want. to
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah.
How happy are you going to be every time you get in and out of your
Yeah.
car?
Yeah.
That's what.
Hey, for some people, that makes you actually feel better to go work, to
Correct,
go do a
yeah.
thing.
It's
It's
what
how you
motivates you.
feel.
It's a whole
yeah.
thing.
Motivation factor.
When I used to work at Tom Duffy, and I bought, when I was there, I had bought a 78 Trans Am.
Oh.
No, Camaro. It was my Camaro.
Camaro.
I bought a Camaro. It was the one I bought.
What
T-tops.
a Trans Am look like.
Well,
Oh,
it looks
yeah,
like
not-
a Trans.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like a.
But I know a Camaro. Yeah. Yeah.
I have bought T-tops. It's gorgeous.
I don't know sports, but I know cars somewhat.
Yeah. He's somewhat a man.
I'm somewhat of a man.
I'm sorry. He's so much a boy. That's a boy thing. Because every time
That is
I
true.
drive my Hummer, I'm a kid.
Oh,
I'm driving a Tonka truck. I'm a kid every day. I do not
Stop
get any in and out of that thing not happy.
That's funny because my 3-year-old, we have a whole like shelf, not even shelf, like a bin
Uh-huh.
full of cars. He loves cars. So when you say boy thing, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
I
one
can
thing.
get that.
I mean, it's one of those things. And so even with wanting to get a G-Wagon, that's a Tonka toy.
Mm,
I mean, yeah.
That's all that is. And
yeah.
and think about it. Both vehicles are both military vehicles.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, a G-Wagon?
Well, just like the general
is it
shape.
just the
It's the
shape?
shape of
The
it.
shape. Well, if you
And then
look
a
at the
wagon.
history of a G-Wagon, it was made at one point. It was made for the
It
military.
was an armored vehicle,
It
right?
was yeah,
Oh.
it was made for the Hummers. Same way.
You'd be
Well, I
surprised how
think
much
I could
stuff
see a
is
Hummer.
made. So, like North Face, that's how they got their start. Was
Yeah.
making stuff for the government contracting.
Yeah.
And then they commercialized.
Yeah.
It was like, this is working.
A
Let
lot
me
of
get
big
this out to
companies.
the
A lot
public.
of big companies started out on government
Government
contracts.
contracts.
Like,
Yeah.
let's test the concept or build it. Because it's government money.
Government will buy anything.
Government will buy
Yeah.
anything. They'd be like, "Oh, that sounded cool.
That's nice.
That sounds
Wait,
dope."
what does it do? Sure.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter.
Conceptually, it sounds great. And they're like,
What-
"Oh, we couldn't deliver." They're like, "That's okay. We'll give you more money to deliver."
Yeah, you'll
That's
fix
so
it. Don't worry.
funny.
But think about it. Most government dudes are all just kids who like to play with guns and trucks.
Mhm.
And technology.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And well, yeah, now it's technology, but the basis of a government, everybody likes to play with guns, likes to see things blow up.
Yeah.
That is like, okay, it's giving a man thing. Cause I'm like, I can't right now.
I wish. No, that's a person thing. Because all the women that I met who are military love to shoot guns. Love to. When I was
I mean, my wife has more guns than I do.
See
My
what I'm
wife
saying?
has a
Okay,
bigger
shout
car
out
than I
to
do.
Ned. Shout out.
By the
Stop
way,
it.
Aaron, listen, I love you guys. I saw your message. They messaged on Facebook.
Oh, right on.
I love
Tiff
her.
right now, she wants a Suburban. She wants to
Mm.
go back to Suburban, and because she drives everything like it's a SUV, tears everything up.
Yeah.
That is so
That was the whole thing.
funny.
She had bought. We had
I'm
got.
gonna get a message from Tiff, and she'd be like, "Cam, I'm coming on the show.
Yeah, right.
Let me tell my side.
Let me tell my side.
She'll agree. She'll hate it, but she know I'm right. She had got an X5, and when we went and got it, it was on low profile tires. Beautiful. Oh, sounded like
Them rubber bands.
it was a whole thing. But I found myself having to go and replace tires all the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because she would hit potholes.
That is
California roads
me.
ate
Oh
them
my
things
gosh. I will
up,
pop
boy.
a tire
Ate
so
them
quick.
up. Ate them up. And I was like, sweetheart, you know what? I'm done.
Mm.
We're just gonna go get you some regular
I'm
tires.
done.
We're just gonna get you some regular tires and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Why? Because she drives everything like an SUV. So what do you get? You know what? We're just getting you SUVs.
Yeah.
You don't get a car.
Yeah.
You know, just one of them things.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
And she's in that mindset that she doesn't like cars. I mean, she appreciates them,
Yeah.
but she doesn't want to get in one. It's not a real car that like, oh, I got to go get that with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's on that. I need a Suburban. I need, she wants a Suburban. What was it? The the new Lincoln Navigator.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, those are nice.
She finally before she didn't like them because they were useless, but the newer ones she likes now. Those are dope for her.
Yeah.
Because it's a big old thing and she can tear
You
up.
seen those
Yeah,
new
I
Jeep
love that.
wagons?
I
Those
love
are cool.
that. A Jeep wagon, you said?
There's like a new Jeep wagon.
A
I love
Wagoneer.
Jeep.
A
The Jeeps
Wagoneer,
we
yeah.
had.
No,
Yeah,
we
Wagoneer.
went and checked those out too.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, well, let's look at one. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But it was something, I don't have a third, something weird about them.
The
That was-
Jeep.
The Jeep Wagoneer.
Mm.
I love a
This
Wagoneer.
is turned into a
It's
whole
It's a conversation. This is what happens. This is what happens.
So we were talking about
Yeah, come on,
cars
bring
and
us back.
tax strategy.
Yeah.
So when you have a business, your strategy, part of your plan with your business
Yeah.
should be how are you going to pay your taxes?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the first thing
You know,
once you figure out the
that's
income.
the first thing coming from a tax person. It's
Yeah.
not. But
No.
it is. It's
Okay,
like that. No,
God, I
it
need my
is.
sound effects right now.
No. When somebody is trying to scale, I always think it's necessary for a tax strategist, a CPA, somebody
No,
to
you
say,
have to figure out where you're going to go with your business. If you're doing this and you see, okay, I still want to be doing this in 10 years.
yeah,
Okay, what your taxes look like.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's why we asked her. Like, we got to a point where I was like, okay, we have all these things going on. I like TurboTax isn't gonna work anymore.
No,
Like,
no.
I need to get like strategic. And it's
Yeah.
funny because we had pulled someone on before, but after having a conversation with them, I was like, I don't need you to file. Like, that's
Yeah.
not the hard. I want you to tell me, do this
Yes.
or do that, or
Yes.
someone I can call. Like, I call her and say, can I do this or can I not?
Can
and
I
then
not?
she say,
Yeah.
yes, you can. If you do it like this, or no, you cannot. That's not a thing. And I'm
That's
like,
not a
all right,
thing,
all
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
bet. Because the
But-
internet has tricked people to think that they
To
can do
think
it
you
all
never-
on their
yes.
own.
yeah,
And along with the popularity of AI.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
think they can do anything.
You
and
love
everything.
me a chat GPT though.
I do love me a chat.
Yeah.
I do love me.
Yeah.
But it be
And I do.
lying.
Yeah, it
It'd
do
be
lie,
hella
and you got
They don't tell you like do this, that, and the third,
No.
and then you try it, and it's like, oh, sorry, that's
so
not a feature.
what I meant when
that's
I
not a
said,
feature.
and a lot of it that I found out is how you tell it to do something.
Correct.
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
released that guide too.
a
Yeah.
guide.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
So
please.
OpenAI actually dropped like, hey, if you want to get the most out of this, here's how you do it. So
Yeah.
I'll
Send
send
me
it.
that.
I'll send it to you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
I think I
please
sent it
do.
to Essex, but I'll send it to you.
Yeah, because that's an important thing. Because I'll do it to, like, if I write a speech, I'll put it into something. I'll put it into chat and say, okay, make this sound more aggressive
Yeah.
in this sort of.
It's like
That's
drive your
so
Hummer.
funny.
Shut
Why
up.
did that come to my mind? It gave Hummer at
Just
that point.
drive your Hummer.
Yeah, yeah.
Drive your Hummer. Do the speech on the speakerphone.
Make sure
in
you
your
have
Hummer,
that.
and you'll be fine.
Put the loudspeaker.
With the
on
loudspeaker.
With the
Or whatever it is, make sure you're at that first parking space. Make sure you play your music. Sit on the hood of your Hummer.
If
and
it
let
says
them know you're
CEO
fine.
parking it anyways.
Yeah, tell him to hold on.
Mhm.
But it is part of the thing, though. I use it, and it does make a lot of things easy.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It does. It gets out a lot, especially if you miss something.
Yeah.
You know, and I've even taken stuff from ChatGPT. Okay, y'all cool, but you're not. Y'all close, but you're not hitting it.
Yeah.
Let me figure this out
Yes.
myself.
It'll like
Yeah.
repeat information. I
Yeah,
had to do
it
something for me
will.
the other day, and it was like when I asked it for only 10 outputs, it gave me like very specific things. When I
Mhm.
asked it for 900,
Mhm.
it repeated the
Wow.
same thing and then put number 1, number 2, number
Yeah.
3. So then I was like, stop putting the number thing. And then it like changed it. And I said, the same 4 words cannot appear in the beginning of the
Yeah.
description. And the only way that they are allowed to is if the 4 last words are different.
Mm.
There you
Wow,
go.
that's very specific.
You have to do that because
But you have to do
it'll
that.
find, you know, it's like a kid. It'll find a
That's-
way to
yeah.
give you what you want without
Yeah.
with doing the least amount of work.
Yeah.
Right, right.
And at that point, it gave me 900 outputs of what I wanted. That were
900?
I'll show it to you later. I'm
Yeah.
not
Like,
gonna
it has
drop
the
it here because
capability.
you can hit me up if you want to pay for it, and I got you the prompt for you, dog.
Period.
Yes.
But if content creation's your thing,
That's
me up.
value.
Okay.
hit me
That's
up.
value.
Look at
You said, hit him up.
Hit me up.
He's easy.
He's easy.
He's easy, but he's not cheap.
I'm not cheap. Yo, hey, not cheap.
Not cheap. Yes, but it is. And speaking up on not, let's just go to speaking up on not cheap. If we're done with the boring tech stuff
Yes.
in this point,
I'm like,
I mean,
no,
it's
it's
not
not.
boring.
It's
I
not
know it's not.
boring.
tax actually, if you are into it, tax is like being an engineer.
Yes.
That is so funny.
That's a good. That's
you
a
know
good
what?
way to
And
describe
that's
it.
funny because I don't like working with engineers.
No, because they're the worst.
There, it's like, okay, I'm
Engineers
telling you what
don't
to
have
do.
tie
You
their
want to
shoes.
break it down to because you need to know. So I get it. I get it.
It's a process of one of the things that I understand about branding and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
You talk to the people the way they receive their information.
Yeah.
You have to.
You have
Yeah.
to.
Yep.
So if you're talking to an engineer, you have to understand engineers how, you know, they can build you a rocket, but they can't tie their shoes or balance their checkbook.
Yep.
They don't know how to work the remote at home.
Yeah.
You know, but they have that's not their thing.
Yeah.
But if you
That's
give them
not
a
just-
step by step, they'll follow it to the T.
They'll follow it to the T. You can give them a booklet like this. They're
Yep.
like, okay, oh, this
That's
is
easy.
it.
That's it.
Cool.
Mhm.
Be done. Yeah.
Oh, this is it. Cool. Cool.
Just talk to me tomorrow. It'll be done. Yeah, it's like, dude, okay, yeah, they're not you. You know, and being a tax person or being occupational specific,
Mhm.
we'll call it, is one of those things.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
understand, okay, this is what I do.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
So don't ask me. I do this.
Yeah.
You want this? I got you. You want that? Go ask him.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And but when I tell you, when I talk about what I do,
Yeah.
you need to appreciate that.
Yeah.
For sure.
You need to understand that there is value in what I am giving you,
Right.
Mhm.
because I told you and you've seen this is what I do.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so let's leave it alone.
Yeah.
And don't ask me why this, because it is what it is.
For
Mhm.
sure.
You're a doctor. That's great. Good for you.
Yeah.
But you're not a tax person.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't understand marketing. You don't understand why this picture looks this way.
Yeah.
You don't understand colors. You understand
Right.
the way why my knee is making this sort of sound or why it hurts.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to you for.
Yeah.
Right. And let's not get it all mixed up and get it all mixed in the idea. Oh, you went to school, so you know that. No, you went to school, so you know how to be a doctor.
Yep.
Mm.
Well, people get too wrapped up in the time-based value like stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so there's like that story where the guy's like, you know, when he like fixes a ship, like the engine's not working, so they call a mechanic. The mechanic goes out
Yes.
there and he looks at it, he knocks 3 times, and then he hits it with the hammer, and the engine runs. And then he sends them an invoice for $40,000, and they're like, "Well, it only took you 5 minutes," and you know, and it said, "Yeah, that took me 5 minutes because the 20 years of experience
put
to
in.
know where to hit that hammer."
Oof.
It was
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
story of this lady
That's
was
a
at
good
a
one.
cafe and she ran into one of the famous, I think it was one of the famous painters.
Mm-hmm.
And she sat down with him and says, "Oh, could you sketch me something real quick? That'd be great." And he's like, "Okay, sure." And he sits down and he sketches or something. And he says, "Well, here you go. Here's how much this is going to cost."
Mm-hmm.
Well, it just took you, once again, it just took you a couple minutes and it's just a sketch. But what you're getting
Yes.
is the time that it took me to do this.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
When I talk to my clients, I'm like, "Well, why do you charge this? Why do you charge it?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I do, bro?
Right. Right.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
I didn't
It's
sit here and
years of
talk to you for
You're gonna be on
experience.
billboards after me, baby.
Yeah.
You're gonna be famous.
Yeah.
What you want?
Right.
You're gonna be Googleable.
Right. Google. There you go.
You when
Hate with
I'm
that.
done, you will be Googleable. You will actually have a
Yes.
name that somebody's
Yes.
gonna look up one day.
Yes. Yeah. No,
You know?
that's
No,
a
we
fact.
found 13 county records.
Whatever it is.
Not county.
Like county records. That's heavy. But that's what it comes down to, though, right? It
Yeah.
comes down to your experience that you put in that no one sees.
No one sees. Yeah.
And no one sees. They
Yeah.
just see the and that's all they really want is the result of what they want to pay for, and they're trying to equate that to what they're paying,
Yeah.
and not understanding. Look, I put in 20 years,
Yeah.
or I sat here and I told you things that you didn't even know
Right.
about. Why are you questioning me?
Right.
And a lot of it for me is, well, why do you charge that much? Because you're going to have a job after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was telling Cam just yesterday and a couple times before that, it's like, it's the way people look at money, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if people start getting to a point where you look at it as it's just money, it's just a tool, and you're using this, when you use this tool, whatever you're putting it towards is going to help with your life,
Everything.
make something else better, your time. So I just feel like I am starting to realize that. And I'm like, okay, well, if that's how you value this piece of dollar, then that's something that you just have to work out.
The value of it. And one of the things that put a lot of things in perspective for me was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory put it in such a true sort of perspective. And it was when Willy Wonka, and it was the latest one, and it was Willy Wonka when he first got the ticket. And we all know the story about how they lived and so on and so forth. But he was showing his grandfather. He said, "Grandfather, we can sell this ticket and just be set." His grandfather looked at him and said, "Dude, money is common.
This is not.
This experience that you're going to get from going here, no one can put a price on it."
Mm-hmm.
And that just gives you perspective about money is common. Everybody has it.
Yeah.
It's just what you do with it.
Yeah.
How you want to save it, where you want to put it, how you actually use it, how you said as a tool is the important thing.
Yeah.
But everybody has it. It's not look at everything. It's not chase that.
Right.
Get to
Yeah.
chasing that. I met this person and I think I made her mad. All right, I made her think.
You?
Slow down.
He's like, no way.
Go figure.
I gotta hear this.
She, what is it? $1 million? To make $1 million, you have to make what, $33,000 a month, or something like that.
Oh,
Some change. And she had told me that, and I didn't think of that part at first. She said, "Yeah, I want to make I think it's $36,000, something like that. Don't quote me on that." But she said she wants to make $1 million a year. And I asked her, "Okay, then what?
Yeah.
You make $1 million a year, then
That's
what?
a good question.
Yeah.
Then what is your life? Because it gives it a bigger perspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
It gives it more than just making money. Okay, you make $1 million a month.
Yep. Yeah.
Then what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Do you have a purpose without limits?
Right.
A
Ooh.
purpose without
The other
limits.
question, Karina's gonna appreciate
I
this. Is
like
that net
that.
profit or gross profit?
Right.
Right? And then
We're
that
talking
becomes,
about what's the net.
is it liquid?
Is it liquid?
Right.
Or
Yeah.
just like value to it?
That's funny. That's a good one.
But it gives an idea of perspective on what you actually chase.
Right.
And that with my life, with me personally, I've had to kind of reconcile with that.
Yeah.
That has been a struggle with understanding. Do I
Oof.
run on the idea of money? Do I run on the idea of money, or do I run on the idea of purpose?
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're on here. Okay.
Because that
Yes.
that becomes the thing. And then and I had to wonder where
Yep.
where does that come from? Why is
Yep.
that even a thing?
Yeah.
People want things all the time.
Yep.
Like I love cars, but I'm one of those people that I love the car I fell in love with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have to have the new shiny. Like we were talking about the G-Wagon earlier.
Yeah.
I don't have to I don't want the new G-Wagon,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. But I do want that year that I fell in love with.
Yeah.
One of the cars on my bucket list is a Bentley Continental GT
Mm-hmm.
07.
I was say the older
06,
ones.
07, right?
Mhm.
One of them. Big tail on it. She's pretty.
Oh.
she fine.
Jeez, that is funny.
She fine. So I don't want the new one. I don't even really. The new one is, oh yeah, that's cool. But that
All the cars look the same back now, anyways.
That 07 though. That first time I saw one when I was in Concord.
He's in
Oh,
Concord.
it's
turn.
so specific.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Concord.
I was in Concord. I got off the freeway,
That's funny.
and the dude was getting on the freeway. He was right there by the gas station, right there where In and Out is,
Mm-hmm.
right there in the corner. And he was going under the overpass, and I stopped and I seen it. I was like, "Good Jesus, what is that? One of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Just beautiful." And it was just that appreciation. And yeah, it's a blah blah blah. I don't even know what it was. I just looked at it. I was like, "Oh, that is beautiful."
Mm-hmm.
And then once I got locked in on that, oh, that was it.
Yeah.
My Hummer. That's what I've wanted. I've wanted a H3 Hummer.
Yeah.
It's a weird looking car, but I love that thing. And that's what I got. When I had a Mustang, I wanted my Mustang.
Mhm.
You know, and that's to me, I think, is a bigger thing because it gives you a little bit more focus on what you want,
Right.
Yeah.
not falling into what everybody thinks you should go
Yes.
Yeah.
get. You know,
Yes.
that's why you see a lot of people with money may not drive the car you think they should
Yes.
have,
Yeah.
but they're driving what they've always wanted.
Yeah.
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 And options is a big thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Options is a big thing. I try to tell my kids that you have options in life.
Mm-hmm.
There's no value on the options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't put a price tag on that.
Yeah.
You know, how much does an option cost? You
Mm.
tell me.
Mm.
No, but you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but you still have to make sure you understand the responsibility behind that is planning. The responsibility of
Mhm.
that is making
Yep.
sure that there's sacrifice.
Yep.
And that there is that accountability
Yeah.
Yep.
that you have to have.
Yep.
You know, but long and short, you still get to do what you want to do,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and not what you have to do or
Yeah.
what you should do. Please, I'll take that every day of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a conversation when we were doing the cohort, and I called this, she messaged, said she was interested. I called her and I said, "Hey, this is the price." And she said, "Oh man, I got bills and I don't know if I can do that." And I said, "Cool." I said, "Let me ask you a question. How often do you go out on the weekends?" "Every weekend." "How often do you eat out?"
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me if you ate out 3 times less this week to potentially take this business to the next level, that's not a value to you? I said, "Well, guess what? I got rent and it's 10 times what you pay.
Mm-hmm.
So no offense.
You miss me.
You miss me. You can miss me with that." And I was like, "And you just got to worry about yourself. I got to worry about my partner, my other teams, my wife, if it's my kids." Like, and so, but that's like, but people don't want to have those conversations. Everyone wants to like do the rah stuff.
Yep.
Until it's like, show me.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna tell you that you're not actually about your business. And then at
It's
that
not.
at that point, people are like, "Oh, well, you're like a hater, you're this." And it's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm probably one of the most honest people with you to tell you that.
Being realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're being
It's
realistic.
reality
Yeah.
right now.
And it is, and that's what it comes down to. Having one thing that I've seen in my life that I'm trying to embrace more is the idea of purpose.
Yeah.
And you'll hear me, the more you around me, the more you'll hear me talk about purpose.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
Yep.
I don't like to talk to people if they don't have a purpose.
Yep.
You know, and other than, or if someone is just chasing, well, my purpose is to be rich. Okay.
Oh, then that tells you a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Right
whole-
away.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause now
And-
you know where every motivation they have.
Every
And
motivation-
you can't trust people like that.
No, well, no.
Unfortunately.
You can trust them. You can trust them to have a price tag.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
and that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
You can be bought,
Correct.
and whoever's the highest bidder is going to get your loyalty. Because that's what you're loyal
That's your
to.
value-based system.
That's your
is
value-based
the dollar.
system. You know, come to me and say, "Oh yeah, I have a purpose."
Mhm.
Put a price tag on my purpose.
Mm.
If you want to buy me for my purpose, put a price tag on it, and then we'll have a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can make it make sense, okay, I'll help you. But if you can't,
Yeah.
understood when you walked into this conversation, I told you I'm a man with a purpose.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, and everything that I have or don't have may not focus on that, but understand that's hard for me to really put any flexibility on. You know, and it's I may people. Well, I know you don't have this and you don't have. No, I don't. And you're right, and it's okay because I know what I do have.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What I have, you're not buying.
Yep.
What I have, I'm not going to
Yeah.
sell you.
Yeah.
And people get caught up in that though. You have clients though.
Yeah.
That I don't understand.
Yeah.
I
I
have
told a client the other
carpet.
day. He was like, "Oh, I want to do it for this," and I was like, "Then we're not going to work
We're
together."
not, that's what
And
you
he
want to
called
do
me
it
at
for.
6:30 in the morning and said, "Okay."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I know, okay."
Yeah, I get that. You
That's
know,
why I'm
and
Coach
so
King.
just like with
I know.
the-
Okay.
I know. Okay, I know it is. Don't trip. But how we always talk about that, people don't understand the idea of value.
Yeah.
20 years in the business, value.
Yeah.
You know, I am certified for this. There's a value to that.
Mm-hmm.
You may not want to pay it.
Yep.
Because because you don't see it.
Yeah.
You see going out every weekend.
Yeah.
You see eating out 3 times a week.
No.
You see that
Yep.
because you can just go get it. But if you really stop and think about what you want, what you really want,
No.
you're willing to say, okay, I don't need all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can that restaurant
Yeah.
hopefully will be there in
Yeah.
3 years. If they go and talk to Board of Trades, they'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, that's a fact. Because, I mean, hey, take it out.
and it's just saying because it is the idea. So one thing about the Board of Trades is we take a percentage of your profits
Mhm.
for 3 years.
That's fair.
But no, that's
You get this support.
there you
though.
go.
But
There
you're
you
buying
go.
support.
You're buying.
Yes.
You're buying.
A
We talked
partner.
about this last night.
Yeah.
You're buying a shortcut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's
you're buying
perfect.
the cheat code.
You're buying
Yeah.
a Chico.
And that comes with it though. Like either you're gonna pay it up front or you're gonna help me be able to do it. And then in that process, you have to do that.
Yes.
Otherwise it won't make sense, right? But I think when you talk about that, I think what you do is necessary for people.
Mhm.
Because what I've seen is that, and I do this in what I do, right? It's like, okay, I'm all for helping you build the foundation,
Mhm.
right? I don't just work with the top tier people, right? If you need help, what do you need help with?
Yeah.
Like, so that we could talk about the direction, because I would get people coming in and maybe they do have bad credit, right? It was
Mhm.
like, well, maybe that's not the right time because you do have to, you're getting in more debt,
Yeah.
like he said. And so I think like when you start to think about what you said with purpose, what you said with you getting clients to come in and you're saying, what do you need overall? Because we have to pick apart what the actual thing is you're doing and then level you up, which
Yes.
takes time. So 3 years sounds about a
You-
right
you
amount
should
of
be-
time.
You should be good at the end of 3
Yes.
years. You should be on your way. You should be good to
love that.
go because of that, though.
Yeah.
Because we sit down and we develop a plan.
It's structurally
It-
sound.
It's a structural. It is. It's a structural. We're building your infrastructure.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make sure. And at the same time, we got our rents and our kids and our and
Yeah.
so our spouses
Yeah.
and the stuff we want to get. So shouldn't we be able
Yeah.
to help
Mhm.
ourselves while helping you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody wins. Everybody eats off the same plate. And everybody should be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But understanding, me and my friend of mine in Oakland, we had me and my wife had a loss mitigation company in 2008, and it was met this dude. Our office was in the Marcus Garvey building in Oakland, and he and I still friends to this day, close friends, and we developed the saying,
Mm-hmm.
"I'm gonna give you $1 million." A person with no value,
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't understand value,
Mm-hmm.
first thing out of their mouth is, "How much do you have?"
Mm-hmm.
"I'm giving you $1 million." Yeah. How much do you have?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I have $1,001.
Yeah.
I feel like giving you $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
But a person who doesn't understand value
Yeah.
won't understand that they're getting $1 million.
Mm.
They're too worried and too caught up in the idea of money.
Yeah.
Oh, you got 5. Why can't I get 2.5?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just gave you $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
Yeah.
I'm handing you $1 million. Yeah, but what do you have?
Yeah.
They don't understand the value
Yeah.
of what. One, I took it upon myself as a gift to give you. Giving you, that's value in itself. It's
Mhm.
something that I see that impelled me to go ahead and give you $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so concerned about what I got.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're the same person who needs the new car,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
who needs that 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and not really getting what you want, but you're getting that 2025 because it's going to look good to
It's gonna
everybody
look
else,
good.
you know, and not understanding the concept of value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of people get caught up in that. A lot
Yeah.
of people fail behind that.
Yeah.
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 So, and that's why I was like, okay, a lot of the times information, I built a program for churches a while back to be able to come together, pool their money, and be able to go to a credit union. And this is when I lived in Oakland. Go to a credit union and said, hey, there's 10 churches here. We make X amount of dollars every Sunday. Every Monday, we'll be able to deposit so on and so forth into your bank, into your credit union every week. But for that, we want to be able to get a discount on our members, only our members. We want to be able to get a discount on loans if we want to get a car loan, get business things, and so on and so forth. Just that kind of relationship. So me and my wife presented this to a church, and I came in, I gave my presentation, didn't mention anything about what I was charging, anything like that. Lady stood up and says, well, how much do you get? I said, what? And I was like blown away. I was done. I looked at my wife, like, did you really just ask me how much money I'm getting? When I didn't actually say I charge X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
At the time, Tiff and I had a real estate company, and we were still doing loss mitigation.
Yeah.
I was like, if some of your people want to come and deal with us, that's fine.
Yeah.
But they don't have to. I'm just saying, if they do, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
That's when I started developing my purpose without even knowing I was developing my purpose. I was trying to let them know I want to help churches succeed because we need that in the community.
Yeah.
We need that strength in the community. They need to see successful churches without a damn thermostat on the wall, about a building fund, and so on and so forth. And after I told the lady that, she was like, oh, yeah, I knew you was getting something. I wanted to cuss in a church. I don't even cuss, but that day, I wanted to cuss in a church.
It's happening.
So, and then that hit me, and now it's like, okay, if I'm going to do something, I'm charging for it. Yeah. It's going to be fair. It's going to be the right thing to do, but I'm charging for it. You're not getting anything for free.
But see, it's better like that on both sides.
Yeah.
What I learned is like when people, I feel like when people give you the money versus have like you do something for free for them, even like you could tell family members the whole blueprint. You could tell your friends a blueprint. They take it and be like, okay, like they might not even implement it. When money is behind something, I feel like
charge them. Then
that's where they're sometimes where their heart is, and I just feel like in those cases you'll get the most out of people too.
Yeah.
When you do that on both sides,
on both sides. So this is one of those situations where people, oh, you were trying to rip us off and do this because you're just giving us away, and we got okay. Now I'm going to charge you.
Yeah.
You're getting charged to be a member of the Board of Trades, and we're going to get a percentage.
Yeah, it should be.
But it shows that everybody right now is vested in your success.
Yes.
If you don't make as much, I'm not going to make money if you don't make money.
Yeah.
Right.
For
and that's why even with my candidates now, I charge a fee up front. You charge a retainer, and that's to make sure that I work for you. I'm not going to work for nobody else, but I also charge a monthly because I should.
It's very wise.
Yeah.
Very wise.
I'm making you tons. You're going to make tons. But and it works out for a regular city council. I'm not going to make that much.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't have to, because I don't have to raise that much.
Yeah.
Because it's just a city council.
For sure.
But congressional.
Oh yeah. That's a grip.
He's like, come on, man.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna buy my boat.
So value.
Value is important. Forget everything else. If you don't value anything, even when you get, and that just doesn't go for business. That goes for your relationships.
Oh yeah.
That becomes for your friendships. If you don't value that,
yep,
and not put a price tag on it.
Yeah.
Price tag, value means nothing monetarily.
Yeah.
Value is important.
Well, that's why like when I work with people, I'll be like, hey, I need you to do this for me. And I'll be like, okay. And I'll be like, what's the price? And they're like, oh, well, what's? I'm like, no. What's the price? What's the value of what you're going to do for me? I'm not going to tell you what the value is because you understand what the value is.
Yeah.
And that's helped us build great relationships.
It's great
Especially, because people are like, oh, like he really appreciates what I bring to the table. I'm like, well, yeah, because if there's a time where you ask me to do something, I'm going to give you a price because I know what that value is. I expect you to do the same. And I need you walking around with that shield of armor, knowing that you can do that.
Yes.
Sometimes people just need the floor to do that.
Yeah.
They just need the option. Like, oh,
The
I just need someone to tell me to charge what I'm supposed to charge,
Yeah.
or what my value is, because everyone else, who doesn't actually know what value is, has told me it's not worth it. And that's not the case.
That's not the case.
Fire sauce.
So,
but it is. It's the idea.
Coach Cam.
It is. It's the relationships that, like Cam and I, we became friends. We became friends when he told me he makes his own bread.
Oh, I learned something. You make
Well,
your own bread, huh?
He made his own
I make my own
sourdough
sourdough
because he had to
sometimes.
leave an event because he
From
made
scratch.
his own sourdough.
From scratch.
No.
Yeah.
Him and his wife.
And my wife and
I still haven't gotten any.
I know. I'm like, hello.
And my wife hasn't gotten any in a couple weeks either. So
I'm waiting for
she's
to come
watching
through
this probably
here.
like, where's my bread at?
On one of these.
Wow.
I'm
Yes,
waiting
I
to
have
come
a-
through,
Yep.
and there's no, little
I was good.
security board.
I was actually trying to make some for the barbecue.
You was
and
trying
then
to
we
do
didn't
that.
have
Fire.
it.
That
So
was a
when I have
struggle.
some spaghetti that I just made,
Yep.
so I'm
I'm
going
gonna
to
go
the
ahead.
store, get it from Cam.
Cam, yeah,
Okay.
Hit me up.
Cam makes bread.
Hit me up.
Nice.
But what that created was then we started talking about it, and then we became we understood that we have a connection.
Yeah.
As goofy as he is, as goofy as I am, that is our connection.
Mhm.
We started that. So even if and to me, that's how you do something. You want to do work and do business and grow with
Yeah.
someone who you can connect with.
Yes.
Even if it wasn't for all of this, Cam and I would still be cool every time we seen each other.
Yeah.
You know why? Because we established that. We didn't even talk. Did we? I don't think we talked about business. Because when I first met you and Glenn together, we were in Vallejo.
Yeah, it was
But
at
I
the
met
listening session.
you.
We
at
talked that
Manvista.
Manvish thing.
I met you and your wife
At the very
Manvista.
end of it, you were like, I'd be very interested to know kind of what you guys do.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was like about the charcuterie and then making fresh bread.
Because you understand, you have to get to know someone.
Yeah.
And that's how you understand you have a connection with
Yeah.
someone. You start talking about random stupid things that
Mhm.
makes no sense only to you two. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing. And then I met his mom at the thing here, at the opening here. And that was fun.
The text message thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting involved.
He said,
I'm not. I can't. We're still cool in spite of. So there's certain. I'm not gonna. Yeah,
he said,
I want to, but I'm not. But the text message thing was hilarious. Now that I understand that I am a 2 to 3 contact person.
How dare you?
Just saying. No, that's on my end before I respond. If I don't respond,
Oh, correct. You're a 2 to 3 follower.
I'm a 2 to 3 follower
Yep.
person, and that's bad for me, but it's true. Because I just
so is that people have to follow up with you 2 or 3 times
Yes.
before you respond? Is
not
that-
all the time,
But
but sometimes.
But you know what? One of my mentors, like I would say about 8 months ago, I used to get really frustrated with this.
Yeah.
And not like I would say not like with my friends or people I associate, but like business stuff, right? I'm like,
Mhm.
why do I have to do this? Like, if you are about your business,
Mhm.
I should email you one time with an
And you should
invoice
be
and
on
it
it.
should get paid.
Yeah.
And one of my mentors like, you have to understand that you come from an environment where that's how things operate.
Yeah.
99% of people
The world does not.
don't operate. He says you have 2 options. You can either understand that and I already knew follow up was a good thing, but he's like, you just have to follow up and you just gotta let it go, or you're just gonna be pissed off all the time.
Yeah, he's gonna be pissed off, and that's the thing,
Yep.
though, right? Because some people are good with follow up. I know some people go, oh,
Yeah.
they hit you right back.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you weren't doing anything.
Yeah.
And then with me,
I
I
be
was
knowing
like,
people think I don't be doing nothing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, it's
no,
just
but
like,
that's
I'm
just who you
that's who
are.
I am.
Yeah.
That's just who you are, and that's a good thing. Me, no,
Yeah.
I'm just
No.
not.
Yeah.
I'll take a couple of days. I'll take a couple of days to call back somebody I want to talk to.
See,
But it's just me.
the text messages will get.
And-
I actually do a really good job. I text
You do very
message
good.
back the people like I really
Yeah.
are close
And I
with,
do,
but
yeah.
it's hard to text.
But it
and-
is. I don't like texting.
People are
I don't
like-
like people. It becomes a thing.
It becomes a thing.
It's a whole paradox
Yeah.
that I deal with.
So we're over now.
Oh,
That's
sorry, are we
That's
done?
okay. I knew this would happen, but we're good. So that being said, Troy, tell people where to find you.
Everywhere. I'm
I
halfway.
mean, you're gonna be back,
Googleable.
obviously.
I'm
So-
halfway Google.
So anything, if you type in Troy L. Finley Sr., you'll find me on Facebook. You type in Troy On, you can find me on Facebook. Because of the radio show. Oh, the things I have coming up,
Yeah.
I think are important. So you can find me at trinitygroup.com for all the business stuff. You can find me on Facebook at for all my NAN stuff. I'm on Facebook and Instagram for all that, and Instagram for the Trinity stuff. I'm not a fan of Twitter or X, so I stay off.
I know Percy says he's gonna put me on game. He said
He
it
laughed.
gets wild on me.
But one thing that I actually have realized, though, there's some new stuff that's coming up. There's some new social media threads that are coming up.
Okay.
That people really need to be paying attention to. But I just type in Troy L. Finley. And
Troy L. Finley.
get away from the police stuff, and you'll be fine.
Karina, where can people find you?
Past the 13.
I'm stuck. Okay. Well, you guys can find me on social media. Just type my name in, Karina B. Cook. That's on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And yeah, you guys can find me on those 3 main platforms and on YouTube, Karina B. Cook also.
And if you're not doing anything tomorrow, y'all need to be at Faith Over Fight. And even if you are doing something,
Yeah.
cancel it.
Yeah.
Tell them
just,
real quick.
You
Tell
know,
'em real
you,
quick.
you need to be in the room. So tomorrow, you guys, we are finally here. Faith Over Finance is here tomorrow in Solano County at the Solano Yacht Club from 11 to 2:30 p.m. And if you feel called, you need to be in the room because we are going to be talking about things that we even covered today, but also in more deeper, because it's important for you guys to know about faith and like what's a great foundation in that, and also how that works together with your money and finances. So we're going to have our speakers there, of course. We're going to be networking, and it's going to be a good time. So you guys come. You can register. Cam is going to leave you the information so that we know that you're going to be there and you're going to walk away feeling empowered. So I can't wait to see y'all.
Yeah, but so QR code's on the screen right now. Go ahead and scan that boy. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll put it in the comments. But other than that, Troy, we appreciate you, dog. I do. I really do.
She does.
It's always
I know,
great
bro.
conversation.
It's always fun.
It's
with
always fun.
you. I'm mad that I love Karina being here. I wanted to talk to Glenn.
Everybody wants to talk to Glenn. I went to a meeting yesterday. They're like, "Oh, Glenn's not coming." I was like, "Look, man.
Glenn's just better than me.
I mean, he is.
I mean, just all the way
Partner with
around.
people who are better than you.
That's the key. You find
Yeah.
people who are smarter than you,
That's right.
and that's who you hang out with.
That's why I love my guy.
Period.
That's what I'm saying.
I miss you, G.
Yes, you're supposed to be here.
Other than
That's
that, we appreciate y'all. Mics and Mindsets every Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Spread it to your friends.
fine.
Otherwise,
Find your purpose.
find your
Yes.
purpose,
And
we'll
have some
see-
values and morals.
Yeah, don't let money control your life.
Yeah.
Peace. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Bye.